garish looking blue tongue here. You can see these little spots here. These are the taste receptors, and this is a schematic of them, which they're opened up in pores in the tongue, but they're actually present in pretty much every part of the mouth, not just the tongue. And these detect the different chemicals in things that we eat. And if you actually look at the way that our tongues, and for that matter other species' tongues, are organized, we have areas of maximum, and I must say this, maximum sensitivity to particular classes of tastants. In fact, all of the different classes of taste receptors are expressed all over the tongue. But in terms of what's maximal sensitivity, salt is mainly detected by the end of the tongue, here in this yellow area. Sugars right at the tip. Sour and the sides, and bitter alkaloids at the back. And there are actually two other taste receptor classes as well. One's called umami, which we don't know whether it has a special increased sensitivity area. This is for glutamate, amino acids, meat-like tastes. And recently it's been claimed that there may actually be fat detectors in the tongue as well. Again, we don't know whether they're localized anywhere. As far as we know, animals have a pretty similar distribution. But the important thing is that if we look just for ourselves, you'll notice that bitter quinine-type tastes are about 100 times more sensitive than the nice things in life, the sugars and the salts. And that is simply because this system, whether you're a human or another species, is primarily there to detect poisons, to stop you killing yourself. Okay? It's not just for the good things in life. Receptors in this case are connected to the brain via specific cranial nerves, and the processing of taste, I won't go into detail, but is actually in a tiny area of the gustatory cortex, which is right next to the part of the somatosensory cortex which deals with the tongue. There's a huge variation, in fact, on the genetic control, it would appear, of taste sensitivity in ourselves, and we assume, therefore, possibly in other species as well. So there are the super tasters, quarter of the human population, who have over 1,000 taste buds per square centimetre, and they're really exquisitely sensitive to bitter and sweet tastes, which means they actually find aversive the kinds of things we often get in processed foods, which are often high in salt and sugar. So they're rarely overweight. The majority of us have about half of that. But right down the bottom here, we have a quarter of the population who only have about 1/10 of those numbers, and they are very insensitive to bitter and sweet tastes, and they tend, therefore, to overindulge in these foods to get the same kind of high, and so they're much more likely to be overweight.